Suffering. Guadalupe made Sunday supper, and after dinner, we had a conversation about suffering that lasted an hour. Our children wanted us to make things easier for them once they finish high school in about 5 to 7 years. We definitely said no and gave them our reasons. How do you talk about suffering with 10 and 12-year-old children? We remembered when they were born. Their mother suffered a lot of pain during pregnancy so that they would come to the world. She suffered when she gave birth to them, and we both suffered when we heard them cry for the first time. They suffered when they saw light for the first time. They suffered the absence of the environment that sheltered them for 9 months. They suffered when they felt their first stomachache when digesting the food that came from the new world. Abril suffered when she got her ears pierced. Ezequiel suffered when he had his first fight with his cousins. They both suffered when they were spanked for the first time for being willfully disobedient. And as parents, we suffered as well for having to do this spanking. They suffered the loss of their little brother when they were just 5 and 7 years old. We suffered because we saw them suffering. We suffered because we saw a son die before one of us did. We suffered when we thought that our family could fall apart after this suffering. My wife and I suffered when our parents got divorced, and every time more hardships got in our way, making us consider doing the same thing. We suffered economic crisis many times. During the last one in 2008, we almost went bankrupt. My wife suffered because the income she got making sandwiches de milanesa, empanadas árabes, and alfajores de maicena was not enough to help sustain our home. And I suffered seeing her anguish as we were struggling to support what we had built together. I have suffered the loss of my grandmother Dora, a great woman in my life. I suffered every time I started a new enterprise and failed. Every time failure clouded my expectations of succeeding in some business. Suffering comes before any satisfaction. It comes first to prepare us for the best, because we are here to surpass ourselves every day to achieve happiness. Steel must endure extreme temperatures of 900 degrees centigrade and then be cooled abruptly in order to temper and reach its greatest strength. A piece of mud must enter an oven full of fire to become a beautiful piece of art. A seed must die to give life. A mother must face 9 months of hormonal and physical changes to meet the love of her life. Men and women must work hard every day, but the outcome is worth it every time we see in our families the gains of that sacrifice. God suffered when he had to see his only son die. Jesus suffered when he had to become a man to die for others. Without suffering, every reward is less flavorful. Suffering makes us strong. Strength makes us persevere, and perseverance gives us the most resounding success. That kind of success that makes us happy because we fulfill our personal goals and satisfactions. Not only so, but we also glory in our suffering because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance character, and character hope, says the most widely read book in Romans 5:4-4.